At a rundown Parisian theater in France, an agitated Thomas Novacek is talking on the phone, unaware that a young woman has entered the hall. Thomas is the writer and director of a new play that features an adaptation of the 1870 novel called Venus in Furs by Austrian author Leopold von Sacher-Masoch. On this particular day, Thomas has been auditioning actresses for the lead character, Wanda von Duniev. However, most of the women auditioning for the part did not meet a quarter of his requirements, and he is complaining about that to someone on phone. Thomas is a man who believes in perfection but also has sexist views about the role of women, and this can be seen later on in the film. Thomas is startled by the woman who is drenched to bone due to the pelting rain outside. The woman introduces herself as Vanda Jordan and explains that she was supposed to audition but got caught up in the rain. Thomas explains that the time for the auditions is over and that he is in a hurry to get home to his fiancée. Wanda insists that her name is on the list and speaks aggressively, explaining how this could be the chance in a lifetime that she has been waiting for. Seeing that the woman won't leave, Thomas decides to give her a chance. Wanda's name is not on the auditioning list, so Thomas thinks that the woman is just wasting his time. Wanda undresses, revealing sexy lingerie, and she slyly seduces Thomas with it, but Thomas has made up his mind about leaving. The two stubborn-headed people argue for a while and Wanda resigns, opting to leave but still cursing at the man. She wears her coat and walks out crying, making Thomas have a change of heart. Thomas tells her that there will be other auditioning dates later, but Wanda is relentless. She puts on the costume for the audition and Thomas finally relents. At first, Wanda's language and demeanor make Thomas regret his decision to stay. She appears unlearned and uncultured. He chastises her for being a horrible actress and points out some things she should rectify. Wanda is an old soul with an intention, so she tries to accept the corrections well without creating much fuss, saying that this is her first time so Thomas should go a little easy on her. Thomas has Wanda set the stage lights and she surprises him by getting them correctly on the first trial. She walks to the stage and gets ready for the position that she is supposed to act in, with Thomas explaining details like her movements and stage presence. Wanda starts reading from the script and Thomas is greatly disappointed since Wanda seems unprepared and has no idea of what the script is about. Wanda continues with her act, seeming to love the agitation growing in Thomas. She drinks some water and starts blabbering some words and performing vocal training while Thomas is wondering why on earth he would wait for her. Thomas's head is on his head when he hears a beautiful voice reciting the lines and getting into character. Thomas quickly gets up and starts reading the role of the male protagonist of the play. After a few minutes of acting, the two take a break and we see that Thomas is highly impressed with Wanda, thinking that he has finally found his star. Wanda looks amazing in the costume and she commands such stage presence that the crowd would be enchanted by her. The female supposed to star in the film is expected to be calm and alluring but with a dominant and slightly aggressive character, and Wanda is amazing for the part. Wanda surprises Thomas by giving him a coat, explaining that if the play is to have a deeper meaning, then it is only fair that Thomas acts the part. The coat is made of leather, giving it a divine feel. The male protagonist of the novel is supposed to beg the woman to be her slave, sealing himself to her in what Thomas thinks are seals of love. As the story develops, so does the mood in the film. Wanda slyly undresses while asking Thomas what he wants. Thomas is in character and reveals that his only desire is to please Wanda. After the act, we see that Thomas is clearly charmed by the sexy woman despite his best efforts to focus on the script. However, he makes adjustments and other additions, feeling that certain parts would be better adopted since having Wanda play the part makes the novel more real. However, The two argue after Wanda points out that the whole play is designed to be an erotic version of bondage and submission. Wanda explains that the film is sexist and says that Thomas has his masochistic desires. Thomas refutes the claims, explaining that it is a great and faithful adaptation of a literary classic touching on passion and desire. In his opinion, a man and woman are supposed to join together in a holy union that cannot be broken and, as such, be willing to do anything for each other. Vanda is supposed to understand because she might have had a few experiences with love, so she should relate to it. Well, Vanda is not convinced just yet. She leaves the stage and carries her bags, making a piece of the audition script fall. Thomas collects it and notices that she has the full copy of the novel, not just the part the actresses were supposed to audition for. Thomas is now fully invested in the movie and he pleads with Wanda to continue. At this time, Wanda has changed from the 1950s dress she was wearing and now has a beautiful black dress and thigh-high stockings, adding to her allure. The two continue acting, with both expressing what they really feel about domination in a relationship. After some time, Thomas is at his desk smoking when Wanda approaches him from behind wielding a knife. Wanda makes fun of his fear and asks him if he is willing to submit. After he admits to it, Wanda throws the knife to the floor and starts insulting him when his phone suddenly rings. His fiancée is worried about what has kept him so long, so Thomas promises to be home soon. At this point, Wanda and Thomas's relationship has surpassed that of actor and director. Wanda is more comfortable at acting the scene out and seducing Thomas with sexual body language and even putting on red lipstick. Thomas looks at her antics with awe and he quickly puts on another coat that Wanda throws at him. This one is a plaid coat designed to make him look like a servant. Wanda lies on the chair and starts commanding him to do some tasks. Soon, she gets up saying that something is missing from the scene. When Thomas questions it, she responds that she is improvising. Wanda puts on her choker necklace on him before proceeding with the scene. At this point, Thomas is expected to be fully submissive and he demands that Wanda makes him her servant, if not her husband. A woman can dream. Wanda has Thomas retrieve boots from her bag and put them on her feet. Thomas does so with such reverence that one might wonder if that's part of the novel or if he actually wants to do it. Wanda walks away and we see that she has transformed into the lead character in a Mistress movie. Wanda continues making moves at Thomas while acting out the parts of the play. Meanwhile, Thomas is slowly falling for her charms since he deeply identifies with the male lead of the novel. Wanda undresses him slowly and then puts her shawl on him. She proceeds to apply lipstick on him before removing his sneakers and fitting her shoes on him. Wanda has Thomas catwalk on the stage and Thomas seems pleased with these developments. Wanda suddenly pulls out a gun, threatening Thomas's character, making him fall to the ground and beg as he cries. Wanda removes her shawl from him and attaches a leash to the necklace on his neck. She then has him walk on fours and leads him to an upright log at the center of the stage. She ties the leash and handcuffs him to the log. She wants him to admit that he is a misogynistic man, but Thomas refuses. This causes Wanda to slap him a few times until he admits to loving humiliation and all that comes with it. In essence, he is ready to pleasure women for his pain. Wanda leaves him and walks off stage, and then she starts playing with the lights, making Thomas terrified. The lights come on soon and we see Wanda dressed in a different costume. She starts dancing with only a fur rug hiding her nakedness while Thomas watches on. Whatever this dance is supposed to do to a person, I'm sure it serves its purpose because I am utterly terrified. After dancing for a while, Wanda walks off into the darkness. In the final scene, we see the same words that mark the beginning of the play, "And the Lord hath smitten him and delivered him into a woman's hands." This is from the book